Hello, 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 YouTube. How are you guys doing today on this good old F around and find out Friday? That's right, it's your girl Ebony. Real Talk Therapy 101. Back at you with a video. I know it's been forever and a day. But your girl has been, I told y'all, there's been some stuff going down, going on, going wrong, going right, going left, going in the ground, all kinds of stuff. So real life has been happening to me. And in the midst of it happening to me, I have not had the time to be able to devote coming and making sure that content is here, making sure I have these real talk conversations with you guys to see if you're out there maintaining and breathing and doing what you need to do. The girl out here in this water by myself, I took the oars, I kicked the supports out. I got to ride this one by myself. So, sometimes there's some things that you really have to do and sound those things out on your own and by yourself. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Ebony Campbell. I am a certified alcohol and drug counselor in the state of North Carolina. I'm also a certified peer support specialist and a master level qualified professional in behavioral, substance, and mental health. Currently in school to become a licensed clinical social worker so that I can do therapy round robin, holistically for clients as I look to continue this journey down the road. And for me, mental health is simply having a conversation about what's going on in your head, helping yourself sound these things out, helping yourself make some of the best decisions that you can make, different choices if you haven't been making the correct choices. Sometimes you got to switch things up. But more importantly, being authentic and being yourself throughout the entire process. Because when we lose sight of who we are, you lose sight of where you're going. And when you start accommodating folks who don't want to see you go anywhere, that'll put all kinds of roadblocks in your way because they may or may not be happy for you. They may or may not be in a place of celebrating these things with you or for you. You don't know. So when you start, taking off them glasses, them foggers, and seeing things the way they really are versus the way you want them to be or the way you've imagined them to be, or even the potential that you see in some people to know that they can do some wonderful, great things, but if they don't see it in themselves, then it'll be an issue. To know, what someone's issue really is and what your own issues really are. You know what I'm saying? And so I told you guys this year, 2025, having these real talk conversations, I'm coming from the realest place ever. And that's for me. The realest place ever with everything that I'm going through. One thing about it though, don't get it twisted. Okay? I go through things, but that don't mean I'm getting ready to sit on here on this channel and spill out my life's details for y'all. My life is great. And the reason why my life is great is because I've learned to accept my shortcomings. I've learned to accept the things that aren't going well. I've learned to accept that it can't be my way. I've learned to accept that I am who I am with the makeup of how and who I am. And everything about me is unique. And I recognize that in other people as well. And because I've learned to recognize that, I should never expect anybody to agree with me when I'm talking about anything. So my point of view is simply that. It's my point of view. And so for today's video, before I sit down and we really get into this thing, those of you that are new to the channel, I also feature, I have a slight addiction to coach. And if you would, go back, follow me. Look at some stuff, look at some of the conversations and things I was putting out there prior to me getting to this point in life and catch up with your girl. But I love Coach. And with Loving Coach, I feature Coach bag and or accessory of the day. And I'm also a slight little sneaker here right about now. So I also show, my kicks of the day and anything that I may have to accessorize custom-made t-shirt. So, you guys have seen this before if you're not new to the channel. This is one of the very first shirts that my husband made for me when I first started this, and it says, "You plain Jane, I'm diverse." And you see the word diverse in all these different colors because diversity is different. And it's a Lil Wayne quote. I told you guys Lil Wayne is one of my favorite lyricists. And he always talks from a place, it's a very therapeutic place. And if you sit and listen to his music and listen to how he puts it together and breaks it down and makes it plain and help you to relate to some of the stuff that you're going through, you will find some nuggets there. And one of the biggest things that I want people to find is themselves. Find the diverse things about you so that you're not looking at somebody else crazy because you can't understand how they can move the way that they move and you're not able to do it. The reason why is because you're not that person and that person is not you. Took me a minute to get that though, because I thought I could just love everybody. The world would be happy-go-lucky. I could make peace. Everybody would get along. There would be no issues in my life. And boy, real talk, your girl was in a real mess and a real funk. But we're going to talk about that. Today's coach is the multicolor Pride City tote. Came out 2 years ago during Pride Month. Not sure if you can get this again. You know, they have a Pride collection that they put out every May and June. And I try to get me a bag or two. So I like this one because it's multicolored. And as I position my good little chair so that I can have a good little seat and show you guys my good little kicks of the day. So they're New Balance. You know, I told y'all I don't know the numbers or none of that good stuff, but you guys have seen those before as well. So they match the colors in the shirt, match the bag, matching the girl. And so welcome to yet another episode of Real Talk Therapy 101 with your girl, Ebony. So today, guys, just wanted to talk a little bit about authenticity and changed behaviors, changed minds. So a couple of weeks ago, it's been about a month now, getting prepared to get my hair done. I think the last time I saw y'all, I wasn't looking how I look now. But at any rate, for anybody that knows me, I don't think I've only had colored hair in my head, but a few times in my life. And so right before getting my hair braided this last time, I was like, yo, I want to start doing things different. I want to start, you know, exploring and testing some waters I've never tested before. Because no matter what I do in some areas and arenas of my life, it doesn't seem to be enough to be fulfilling for all parties involved. And so I had to stop, take a look back and look at myself so that I can first and foremost try to understand if I had made any progress or if I had made any changes in all aspects and relationships in my life. So when I started doing that, I started seeing some behaviors of my own that needed to change. So when I'm in the pilot seat, meaning when I'm doing interventions and I'm working with families and I'm facilitating groups and I'm gathering information for assessments, I'm in my element because I'm asking for information. And I have mastered the task of being to ask things from people and gather the information that I need to gather. I'm already a people person, love people, I'm a social butterfly, but I have a tolerance level as a Cancer and I have no balance in my mood swings. So either I'm with you or I'm not. And when I'm with you, I'm all the way in. When I'm not, you feel the effects of me not being there. So it's my spectrum and I gotta work on it. I gotta find some median, some in between. I gotta find something so that my behaviors towards others when I'm upset about something does not cause them to lose sight of who they are. So going back, I wanted to try something new, reached out to my stylist and like, I want to do a little color, but not too subtle. I wanted a little number 2. She's like, oh, Miss Ebony, I got the perfect color for you. And when I seen it on the braid rack, I got scared and I was like, I don't know. But then I said, do it. Because if I never do it, I'll never know if I would like the color. And I don't know if y'all can see my little honey blonde braids. But I can honestly say, now I know my hair looks good because my stylist is the truth. So the braids are flawless. However, I'm not feeling the color. And she knew I wasn't feeling it when I was in there. And no matter how many compliments I get on my hair and, oh, that color looks good on you, what I had to learn to do was accept the compliment. Because when somebody was telling me, oh, they look good, I like that color on you, I automatically started saying, oh, no, I don't know, I don't like it. A compliment wasn't meant for me to agree with it or not. It was a compliment. So you accept it. Because that's how the individual who pays you the compliment, that's how they see you. No matter how you see you. So, will I say that I'll get color again? I might. Will I get honey blonde again? Where I am in life right now, I probably won't. But I've experienced a part of my diversity that lies within me that I never would have acted out or played out or went along with if I hadn't started doing real life self-evaluation. I would go through and ask everybody, do you think I should get some color? Ask my husband, ask my mama, you think I should get color? Oh, I see somebody with color. What you think? What you think? What you think? Never stopping to say, Ebony, what do you think? Ebony, what do you want? It was always kind of based off what everybody else that I have come to start trying to people please without realizing it. Their opinion mattered more than mine. And it should never be that way. We should always tap into who we are. Because our behaviors, if we only change them because the people around us don't like it now, what's going to happen when they don't like that change that you made? Then what's going to happen when you change again for them and then now their taste change and they want you to change again? If they can constantly change their mind about what they want you to do, can't you make up your mind about what you're going to do? Sometimes we have to accept people for who they are in this season. That's it. You can't make somebody be who you see them being. You can't help if nobody sees the potential in themselves that you don't see. You got to look within. So in my element, I'm able to gather all this information from the people that I'm working with. But when I started trying to gather things from myself, oh my word. Did the work begin? Yeah. Because I had to wrestle back and forth with, nah, Ebony, you don't do that. But then when I started thinking about it, writing stuff down, listening to, what people feel when I ask, when I ask a question and I get an answer or whatever, I started keeping record of that. And then I started looking at me and it's like, dang, Ebony, yes, you do. You do a lot of this stuff that you don't think you do. And that goes for all of us. Until you look at your own behaviors and look at yourself, you're never going to see where you need to make improvement. And then when somebody tells you what they think, you can improve on, then you ain't got to feel no kind of way because you already know how and what you want to improve. I was running around here trying to figure out what I wanted for everybody else. The real question is, what do I want for me? Let me go help this person. But who was I reaching out to ask them if they would help me? Hell, if I'm being real, who was I telling that I was going through anything? Nobody. Because the overthinker in me gonna think every bad thought that I might have about anybody that I love, I'm gonna turn that thing over 10, 20, 30 different times in my head before I put you through the turmoil that's already in my head. If I'm already suffering and I care something about you, I don't want you to suffer. So I want to figure it out for everybody. Not realizing that's not my job. It's not my place. It's not anything that I'm required to do. I'm not the one that always have to conform. I'm not the one that always have to pull the lifeline or get the fire extinguisher and put out the fires in friendships and relationships and family, conversations or disputes or whatever. I should not have to always be that person. And when I started doing self-evaluation, nobody appointed me. Hell, I gave myself the position. How you want to be Superwoman in everybody's life. And then when the covers are pulled, or when you got to take the cape off, Ebony, and realize that you're Ebony, you're not Superwoman, accepting that Superwoman is not real, you out here making people believe that you can do some stuff that you truly cannot do. And what are you doing that for? Why do we do the things that we do? Why is, or why is it so hard to recognize what your behaviors are and to know, that you need to change? If I'm on the phone and I can tell you every detail about somebody else and everything that's going on with somebody else, and I'm talking about this other person in details with what they need to do to change and what they're doing wrong. But then if you ask me what I need to do and how and what I need to change, I felt like I didn't need to change anything. For years, I felt like that. For years, I felt like if anything in my life went wrong, it couldn't have been anything that I did or said. And real talk, that's the biggest lie I was living with inside of myself. So now I got to come to terms with some of this stuff. And I feel like my thoughts are complicated. I'm diabolical. On the good end and on the bad end. When shots are fired and I got to shoot back, I'm going to be the one standing. When I don't give a you-know-what, I really don't give a you-know-what. It don't matter what part you played in my life before we got on that end of the spectrum. So I stay away from folk. I avoid stuff that would trigger that. Because that girl's still there. Let's sound it out. Let's do this. Let's do that. But in the meantime, the only person doing it was me. And I didn't realize it because if I make one change and you're okay for 2 days, then now 2 days later, you wake up and you feel like you want something else, and then you tell me, and then okay, then now we're gonna run the office this way, or now we're gonna do the program at the church this way, or now we're gonna as friends celebrate each other's birthday this way. Like 2 days ago, we was doing something different because that's what you wanted. But okay, I'll adjust. It's only so much adjusting people can do. Y'all know how I am about cliches. So me and husband was talking a couple of nights ago. I don't remember. But we were talking about different sayings or what have you. That might have been this week. Who knows? I don't know. But at any rate, he made the comment that, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And at first I was like, well, nah, I've been looking at that cliche a little different, because some of the stuff that don't kill us don't necessarily make us stronger. And then when I started to explain to him what was in my mind and how I looked at that cliche, I started using things like, some of the things that has not killed me has taught me to be more patient. Some of the things that has not killed me has taught me to be more understanding, and to not be so overbearing, and to not do this. It's not. So all of these lessons actually make me stronger. And that was one of the greatest aha moments for me with him, that we discussed, to say how, we can be saying the same thing, but because we think different and we're talking about it, and if we don't think you're saying what I'm saying, it becomes a debate, instead of us realizing, dang, you're right. The way you said it is no different than me breaking down the areas that I have become stronger in. Same concept, same thing, but from two totally different people. Y'all, we gotta get to a place of self-comfort. We gotta get to a place of self-awareness that's real, to start making real changes. And May is Mental Health Month, so I am going to have a lot more content than I've been having, talking to you all about how I'm managing my mental health. And I had to go back to the place of that Ebony that walked in the room and knew who she was when she walked in the room, because that's who she was going to be when she walked out the room. I had to go back. I had to dig back in there and find that part of me. And all of them other little attachments of trying to please them people at the job, trying to please, just accommodate the people at that church, them people, out here in these streets, my family, any of that. No. I ain't got to be there every time something going down. I don't have to send the good morning text. Wait for it and see if it's going to come to you sometimes. Those people who genuinely reciprocate, and reciprocate is a fancy little word for give you back what they receive from you. You'll see them. They'll stay. They won't be irritated by the fact that you're doing what they have always encouraged you to do, and that's be who you are. Y'all know, I told y'all too, like, this stuff is real. And like, I refuse to be that girl on this YouTube thing crying. But it hits a place. It hits a place. And when it hits that place, you have to release. You have to release. And if somebody just catches you on that end of that spectrum, they just gonna have to F around and find out that there's more to you than being a people pleaser. I love with every piece of me. Blessing and a curse. Because I dislike with every piece of me too. When I detach the cord is severed. Can't come back this way. So tap into who you are. Know that May is Mental Health Month. Don't look for this journey to feel good, because it don't. It just ain't. And fight. Put on your war clothes. Put on your boots. Put on your army gear. Put on whatever and fight. Fight for everything that means anything to you. And if we're fighting from that perspective, we should be fighting for ourselves first. Y'all be easy. Continue to check me out. Look for more content. Remember, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. See if there are any activities going on in your area. Participate. And take a look in the mirror and study yourself and just see if there's one behavior that you could work on changing that might change the dynamics of how things are flowing in your life. Till next time, y'all be easy and take care.